Have you ever wished for a magic tool to help you manage your workload? Let me introduce you to that tool, Radio Content Pro. AI is your creative partner that can transform how you create content on the air, online, and on social media. AI doesn't replace you. It empowers you, making the creative process more efficient and impactful. One of the biggest problems in radio today is that professionals like you are overwhelmed. You're expected to do more with fewer resources, but you're expected to perform a daily show, usually on more than one radio station. Crank out daily social media posts, produce online videos, and generate blog posts. And in your spare time, how about starting a podcast or two? Radio needs to generate new revenue streams, but how can you find the time to gather and curate all that content? No wonder you feel stressed and worried about keeping up with these demands. Radio Content Pro is new. It's fresh, and there's nothing else like it. Tracy Johnson worked with a team of developers at WP Media to bring next-generation tools to broadcasters with Radio Content Pro. In a moment, he will show you a dashboard that's as intuitive as it is powerful. And it's always available on all devices. Here's an example of how it will help you. Radio Content Pro provides fresh content tailored to all platforms on air and online. Optimized AI bots gather, organize, and curate content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from trusted verified sources. Then it's converted into ideas ready to use. Everything is at your fingertips. And because the AI is always searching, the content is always fresh. Your content will never be outdated because the prep was put together yesterday. Radio Content Pro brings it all together in one place. Now you can spend your time creating entertainment, not searching for topics. It's like having a full-time producer constantly gather and curate your show's content. You don't want listeners talking about the story they heard on the radio. You want them to talk about what you said. Every show has access to the same stories, but winning personalities find angles with a point of view. You get hot takes and opinions to inspire your reaction to every topic, so you can hijack the attention. Plus, you get 4 phone topics for each story to start interactive conversations. It's like having a talent coach guiding your personality every day. When is the last time you were proud of an information segment, like a newscast or entertainment feature? Creative writing for these features is usually thrown together at the last minute and copied from a source that is written to be read, not spoken. RCP rewrites each story in different ways for different applications, for news, commentaries, blogs, and social posts. It's like having a full-time copywriter that turns information into a tune-in, not a tune-out. At the end of the day, your goal is to drive ratings and build fans. You can do that with an effective teasing strategy. But writing great teases takes time, and teasing skills are rarely trained. It's hard. Until now. Radio Content Pro provides 3 clever teases for every story, and they're better than 90% of the teases on the radio today. It's like having a marketing expert helping you promote each segment. One of the biggest complaints in radio is the increased demand for digital and social media content. Many shows spend more prep time working on blogs, videos, and social posts than preparing their radio show. Social media is critical, but it's a grind. Who has time to do it right? And not every personality has the skills to produce digital content. Each Radio Content Pro story includes a digital section with a ready-to-publish blog article, posts for social media sites, and topics to start discussion. It's like having your own digital marketing team. And when you need more details for a story, everything is at your fingertips with one click. It's like having a research assistant on your team, constantly gathering facts to fill in gaps. But the best way to understand it is to experience it. Here's Tracy Johnson to show you how Radio Content Pro works.
Hi. Okay, let me take you on a quick tour and show you how Radio Content Pro can turbocharge the content you create on the air, online, and on social media. I opened up a story here. It's called The Drama of a Fake Wedding. Friend Demands $200 Honeymoon Fund Donation. It's a human interest story. And I want to show you all the features that come with every piece of content created in Radio Content Pro. It starts with section 1, the story. The gist is bullet points. There's 3 or 4, sometimes there's up to 5, but it tells you what the story is all about. And the design on this is that now you can quickly see if this is a topic that you want to cover, if this is for you, or if you want to move on and find something else. But with a couple of seconds, you can read this and say, hey, this is interesting. I might want to do something with it. Now, the summary takes the entire piece of content and summarizes it. And it summarizes it in a way to be spoken, not read. Now, if this were a news story or an entertainment story that you're delivering on the air, you could pretty much cut and paste this and put it right into a word processor and read it back on the air. Maybe make a couple of edits or a couple of changes to match your voice, but you're good to go. The next section is what you can do with this on the air. And I love the teases. Look at this. Look at the second one. What happens when a generous wedding contribution turns into a regretful donor's demand? The answer might make you rethink that check you just wrote for your friend's big day. Or have you ever thought your wedding gift should come with a money-back guarantee? Well, this guest sure did, and they're causing a scandal. Scoop on this honeymoon hustle ahead. Good teases, right? The commentary takes the summary. Remember, I showed you the summary here that's written more like a news story and mostly with details and information. Well, this takes out some of the details and puts it into more of a point of view or more of a perspective, the way a DJ or a personality might talk about it on the air. Then the responses. I love this too. We have 3 characters in Radio Content Pro. Edgy is an irreverent, sarcastic, somewhat cynical show that doesn't take anything too seriously and is always making fun of things on the air. So they gave money for a honeymoon and now they're asking for it back. What's next? Billing the bride for uneaten cake? The audacity. Kind of like it. It's almost admirable. Pretty good, right? Mainstream is something that you would hear on a CHR, Hot AC. It's kind of like you would expect from Ryan Seacrest or Elvis Duran. It seems like wedding etiquette is evolving or maybe devolving, depending on how you look at it. But hey, as long as everyone ends up happy, maybe a little disagreement's just part of the better or worse package, huh? And then the family-friendly response is something that is for adult-targeted stations who are sensitive about what their kids are hearing. And it's always upbeat, always bright, always supportive, and looking for the silver lining in that cloud. Well, you know what they say about gifts. It's the thought that counts, even if that thought turns into, I want my money back. The next section is phone topics. There's 4 phone topics for every piece of content. The first 3 are designed to get stories from listeners. If you could turn back time, would you take back a gift that you gave for a wedding that didn't pan out? What would it be? What was it? What gift did you give that you wouldn't have done it if you had known what was going to happen in the future? And then the 4th question is a poll. And the poll is for use online. You could put it up on X or on Instagram and ask a yes or no question, for it or against it. Now, the digital content is the 3rd section. And one of the things that personalities hate the most about their jobs today is they didn't sign up to be bloggers, but yet you're asked to create digital content for your website. Starts with a blog post title. When I do turns into I don't want to pay, the honeymoon donation debacle. And then the blog post is written as kind of a hybrid between the summary, which is the facts, and the commentary, which is the personality. Kind of blends the two and puts it into a little bit of a longer article here. You can cut and paste this because there's no copyright restrictions. There's no plagiarism involved because the Radio Content Pro AI bots have rewritten everything. So if you want to cut and paste it exactly as it is, you're good to go with that blog just like that. And it's awesome. It works like a charm. Now, if you want to promote that blog post or your audio on demand, here's your Facebook post for it. A friend who donated $200 toward a couple's honeymoon is now causing drama by treating it like a loan, not a gift. Should wedding gifts ever come with an expectation of repayment? Join the discussion. Here are 3 posts for X, formerly known as Twitter. Saying I do shouldn't mean I owe you. The wedding gift turned loan demand is turning the honeymoon phase into a fiscal fiasco. Now, if ever you need more details, more information, and that'll happen every once in a while where there might be something that you want to check a fact or you want to go a little bit deeper in the story. Maybe it's a piece of content about a new song or a video that's been released. You can get that right here. Just click on the article source and it takes you to the original piece of content where that came from, and you can find all the details right there. Now, it's constantly searching 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And that means a lot of content is created, but we make it easy to navigate and find what it is you're looking for. It's all in these categories on the right side, and it's different for every one of the services. Again, we're in RCP Buzz, which is for CHR and Hot AC. So I'm going to show you a quick summary of what each of these categories are all about. Birthdays are today's birthdays. On this day, it's February 13th, 2024. Here's a list of all the birthdays, but we don't just list the birthdays or tell you who these people were or what they do. It's clever. And there's a punchline that's included, because if you're going to do birthdays, then either turn it into a game, turn it into a trivia contest, or use this as a trivia question in a bigger feature like $1,000 Minute, or make it fun, make it entertaining, have something to say about it. Today in history is similar. Here's all the things that happened on this day in history, and it's got a description of it, but it's also got a clever comment that goes along with it. If you do horoscopes, now some shows will do this at the end of a newscast or an entertainment story, maybe at the end of the show. Some shows will kick off, hey, today is February 13th. And that means if you're born on this day, you're born under the sign of Aquarius. That means you're starting in your own mystery thriller, starring in your own mystery thriller with a twist. So take that, be creative with it, expand on that, use it as inspiration to entertain your audience. Headlines of the day are awesome. When you come in the morning or in the afternoon or whenever you come in, you've got a full newscast already written for you. Just decide which stories you want to use. There's 10, 11, maybe 12 on some days that are here, and they're all written in one paragraph with exactly what you need to put in your content. So you can see all of these stories that are here, and they're written for the way that you are performing your content. Awesome, right? Isn't that cool? Jokes of the day, just what you would think. Jokes. And these are kind of corny, cheesy dad jokes. Maybe you use them at the end of the show. Maybe there's a character on your show that's known for that. Some shows will save these up for a week because you get 9 per day. That's 45 for the week. Save them up and do Worst Joke Wednesday or Worst Joke Friday, or go back in the archives and find some that fit your brand. But you've got 3 edgy, 3 mainstream, 3 family friendly, ready for you to use every day. Today in music history is like Today in History, only in music history. The Miracles Motown milestone. Sometimes this can turn into a nice talkover on your station, especially if you're a classic hits or a classic rock or any station that plays library music. Or it could be a good kicker story at the end of an entertainment report. It can turn into trivia questions for a game. But it's right here, and again, written in a way to help you entertain. When you come into browse the content, which you can always click in the corner here and browse content, it loads the most recent stories, and it loads everything. It's all right here. So as you scroll through, you've got all the stories, but that can kind of be overwhelming. So if you're looking for something special like human interest, these are those weird, wacky stories, maybe Florida man stories or things like that. Click on human interest, and there they are. Find the ones that you like, open them up, and you've got all the content right there. Brightside is good news stories. A lot of stations are doing this as a feature or as a kicker story. Here are all the good news stories from that particular day. Love Lines is relationships and couples. Dumpster to Diaper, a love story born in the shadows of refuse, the mystery of the first kiss and its spicy secret, the enigma of kissing origins. How did we ever start kissing anyway? This article will explore that. Then there's the Pop Culture Buzz. That here's the most recent things happening in pop culture, like television, movies, sports that make it through to pop culture, video games, videos, things like that. Pop Music Beat is exactly what it sounds like. Artist releases a new song. You're going to find all the details here. And then the last category is social sensations. It's the most popular stories that are trending on social media. It can be TikTok videos. It can be wacky stories that everyone's sharing. Now, if you aren't sure what content you're looking for, but you know what topic you want to deal with, you can type it in and it'll sort the library, the entire library, and bring up all the articles that are dealing with, for instance, let's type in Taylor Swift. And there you go. From the most recent to the oldest, all of the Taylor Swift stories that have ever been published. And this is really convenient because if you know you're going to do something about Taylor, you might find the best phone topic or the best social media posts on an older article. So that's Radio Content Pro in a nutshell. There's a ton of information there. It's constantly updated for your show, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it's right there, designed to inspire your creativity.
AI is confusing to a lot of people. But Radio Content Pro handles everything for you and works in the background. Or maybe you think AI can't be as helpful as good old-fashioned brainstorming. Don't think of RCP as a tool to replace creativity, but as a smart assistant tirelessly working to bring content that inspires you to be your creative best. Here are what some of the early adopters are saying about it. There is a product customized to fit most stations, formats, shows, and brands. Each is market exclusive for local stations. Sign up today to lock it in for your market. If you don't like it, just cancel within 3 days, and you will be charged nothing. Revolutionize your radio station on air, online, and on social media with Radio Content Pro.